in a Protoss versus Terran, but you know, if he's been ahead for a long time, loses an expansion, but is able to get it up really quickly like he has been right here, it's not all that great of a loss. Meanwhile, he's using this opportunity to come in and counterattack because go.go has lost all of his tanks, and now go.go is in a lot of pressure right here. He may lose his natural expansion. There's a huge group of Dragoons right here. It looks like about 8 or 9 Dragoons. The Zealots have all been killed off by now. There's a couple of siege tanks in pretty good position to deny this, and those Dragoons are going to have to fall back, so defending by the skin of his teeth there, go.go just barely able to hold his natural expansion. Meanwhile, if you're wondering, I'm not going to be splitting these videos. I'm actually going to be doing a small casting marathon today to try to catch myself up just a little bit more. So I'm going to be going straight through this set, and then I'm going to try to go straight through the set against STX immediately following this. So hopefully a whole ton of games from Sparkyz cast to watch in the near future. Anyways, it looks like Tempest is now trying to set up a 4th base, and he is walling off that 4th base over in that, what I consider the 3rd expansion, over in the 2 o'clock position. So Tempest is trying to get a 2-base lead, and go.go really needs to expand. He has, you know, he's got his 2-base army up and running, and they're being able to do a little bit of damage. You know, he went and sniped off that one, and the one Nexus at the natural expansion, but he hasn't been able to do anything about this 6 o'clock base. Really, he just needs to try to expand, I think, and if he can get on 3 bases as well, he should be in pretty decent position to defend against the army that Tempest is going to be bringing out. But meanwhile, go.go just not expanding right now, which is a little bit worrisome. Not expanding is okay for a little bit, but you know, after almost losing his natural expansion, well, you know, he really didn't take much economic damage from all of that, but he was at least pressured. Now he looks like he is coming in and trying to do a little damage of his own, a little bit sloppy right there, sieging up his tank within range of that cannon, but it looks like he is going to be able to keep that alive with some vulture reinforcements and that SEV there to repair. And this, once again, this, I can't really tell where he's attacking. I guess this is at that brand new expansion? No, this is over... There's all this text coming across the minimap, so it's kind of hard to tell. Anyways, I think that was the 3rd base. Maybe that was the newly built 4th base for go.go. But anyhow, it looks like go.go might, or excuse me, Tempest might have been able to defend that with some reinforcing Zealots and Dragoons. He has a slightly Zealot-heavy army right now, which is actually a little bit good for him. Actually, well, there's more Dragoons there than I thought, so pretty well balanced, actually. But he is still running on Zealot and Dragoon tech, which he will be for basically the remainder of the game, because it's a pretty good combination against siege tanks. But a couple of High Templar in there, especially if he's going to be running on 4 bases, can definitely help out. Now he is running in, and he's got a pretty big surround on another huge group of siege tanks, and he's able to take out another giant group of siege tanks from go.go. So go.go once again losing an entire army, and he really cannot afford this on just 2 bases. That is a ton of gas in particular that he is losing by you know, losing all those siege tanks. Probably altogether he has lost almost 20 siege tanks in this game, which is not going to be good if he's not going to be keeping up economically. Just doing a little bit of paltry harassment at some of the 4 bases that Tempest has set up, but go.go in a little bit of trouble right now, already being thin in his minerals at his main base. Is going to be, he really needs to just either finish off a base or build a new base of his own, or preferably do both at the same time. Would be the optimal scenario for go.go. It looks like he finally is trying to set up a 3rd base, but that is being spotted. An observer in the area watching exactly for that. And now a Stargate is out, as well as that Templar Archive, so Arbiter Tech will be out very quickly for Tempest, and I don't think that go.go is really in a position to stop this Arbiter tech. I don't know if he has a science facility yet, and I haven't seen a starport or a science facility, although they haven't showed his base in a little while. Once again, these videos I'm getting are not of the same quality that I'm used to, so apologize for a little bit lower quality videos. It's also being really hard to tell what the upgrades are. It looks like ranged weapons for the Protoss have been upgraded once, so, well, ground weapons, that is. So, yeah, I think that Tempest is at 01. I'm not sure where go.go is, but meanwhile, Tempest has a huge army of Dragoons wandering around in the middle of the map trying to, well, he's really just got full map control by now, because go.go is doing everything he can just keep his third expansion up and running, which he did not do, but he's trying to get it going again. And so go.go, still on 2 bases, is in a lot of trouble. He still has a pretty sizable army right here. Ooh, nice move there with the Vultures, finally bringing them out. I didn't even realize that they were there, trying to protect those siege tanks from having too many zealots crowd up around them and make them splash damage themselves. But down to only 4 tanks right now. This is going to be a very close match. Only 3 Dragoons left. 3 tanks versus 3 Dragoons and a couple of Vultures. Those Dragoons are finally going to go down, but there's a second wave coming in to try to clear this out. Only 2 tanks left. A 3rd reinforcing tank is being sniped off, and a couple of Vultures coming in, but that is not going to be enough. So once again, go.go is losing all of his army, and Tempest is really in a good position to trade armies right now with go.go, because go.go is still only on 2 bases. He has not been able to get up his 3rd base, and his economy is just in tatters. The Arbiter Tribunal is being built right now, so the first Arbiter is going to be coming out in about a minute, and yeah, go.go, I still don't know, and they haven't showed his base once again in a while, so I'm not sure if he has even a starport up. Hopefully he has. Although if he had a starport, I would have hoped that he would have been building a couple of dropships, maybe a drop of some Vultures, or maybe one or 2 siege tanks, and one of these bases might be a good tactic to do a little bit of counter damage to Tempest while he is trying to build his 3rd base. But yeah, it looks like just now his starport has finished building, so he is also hugely behind in tech, already very behind in economy. So go.go is not starting out this match out very well. He is in a really terrible position. That's all I have to say about that. I'm trying to imagine a scenario where he can come out with a win here. It looks like Tempest is coming in once again, trying to stop that 3rd base, which he has. That 3rd command center has been lifted and is fleeing right now. All of the SCVs are probably going to live, but there is no army to defend that base for go.go, so, you know, he's going to keep his SCVs alive for a little while, but he's not going to be able to do much with that command center later on, because he doesn't have anything to clear out all of these forces coming into his base. Meanwhile, he tried to sneak in, it looked like 2 siege tanks down at that 6 o'clock expansion, which is paid off in spades for Tempest. Down in the 6 o'clock base, he went for a little bit of a sneaky hidden base, which go.go did find reasonably soon, so it wasn't like it was hidden for very long, just go.go not being able to do enough about it, keeping his tanks maybe a little too close together, so they're splashing each other a lot. Those zealots have been doing huge damage to those siege lines. His Vultures haven't really been able to do too much economic damage, or really military damage either. So Tempest now is just sitting there on 4 bases still. He's got 2 stargates up. He's now building arbiters, and yeah, he's in full control of this map and this match. go.go looks finally was able to land that 3rd command center for a little while. And that's really just until Tempest decides to move his army back towards that base. go.go trying to lay mines all in between the area, but it doesn't really matter because there's tons of observers in the field. and that's just way too large of an army. Once again, Tempest coming in. Finally, the siege line is a little bit deeper, so it might be able to do a little bit more damage, but just underwhelming numbers of tanks versus that huge Dragoon army coming in from Tempest. You know, those Dragoons outnumber the tanks at least 3 to 1, which is just not a good winning scenario for a Terran. Anyway, so there's GG. Tempest taking out go.go in game 1. I'm going to try to stop this and get this down to 2 parts, but yeah, we're going to see if, once again from behind, if Sparkyz can rally against KT Rolster, the leading team in the league.